hanging in here.
All right. Did you vote today?
As I'm one of those like you on essential duty, so it was difficult to stay in one place to wait whole day for accreditation and voting.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But then could you just share your experience with us across the federal capital, where I believe you observed what happened at the various polling stations, and also the reports you got as far as the challenges the voters met today?
Well, as an observer, some of the things I noticed would be noted in my report. But as Director General of the National Orientation Agency, I noticed that there was massive turnout almost all over the FCT and National State, where I also went to. And I think it is a clear demonstration of the people's confidence in what government has said, assuring citizens to come out and participate in the process, guaranteeing peace and security, even in the Northeast, especially Maiduguri, Borno State, and Adamawa State, and people came out in their numbers. And I think essentially the mobilization undertaken by the agency and such other groups has helped to achieve that significantly.
Well, we had issues with the card readers. I mean, these were some of the things, some of the major things that were reported. The problem with the card readers, some of them may be failing at whole polling stations. Some, it had to do with just some individuals. But at the end of the day, I mean, does it not create room for, one, doubts to be raised in the minds of Nigerians as to the efficacy of this technology? And then, don't you think it will have an adverse effect on the final results?
Well, INEC will decide that, but of course, yes, there were duties with the card readers in some places, so they had to adopt the use of instance form. In fact, some of the places I went exhausted the instance form because they just had to resort to it. Apart from that, the case of officials turning up a little bit late, because in one other polling unit, I think in Karu here, accreditation finished at about 6 p.m. And they were still deciding whether to cast the vote or to come back in the morning. And so there are so many cases like this that some were easily resolved by INEC officials, some by security officials, as in one area where the police commissioner had to come in to resolve the shouting incidents between voters and INEC officials. But on the overall, in spite of it, the patience of Nigerians was called to test, and they actually showed that they are patriotic and want the exercise to be done with this time around.
Mr. Omeri, what's your overall impression of the conduct of the elections in your neck of the woods, and also concerning security?
Well, apart from the one or two incidents recorded in Gombe and Biu area, in Muratai specifically, I think generally security was good. And also, of course, not forgetting the Inugu incidents and one other in Onitsha, which was reported by my officers. Everything went on smoothly. There were one or two cases of snatching of ballot boxes, but I wonder what they were snatching the ballot box for, unless if they also snatched the ballot papers. But these were in just two places that were reported. And the overall, it was good. No major incidents to make us begin to think, bad about the process. But then, these are just preliminary. Let's wait for the full reports that will start coming out tomorrow or later tonight. Because, the elections went late into the night. So we cannot afford to be conclusive on most of the things that we are saying. And let's be fair to INEC and give them a chance to do what they have to do.
Well, you actually talked about what happened in the Federal Capital Territory mainly, but then I'm sure you had some of your people spread in various parts of the country. Did you receive any reports of any such challenges, especially the very major ones, maybe like ballot box snatching or violence anywhere else in Nigeria?
No, there were no reports of violence, to my knowledge. Just one or two incidents of ballot box snatching, but even that was resolved easily. Because after snatching the boxes, they now realized they needed the ballot papers as well.
Interesting.
Otherwise, it was the returns that the exercise went on peacefully.
All right, Mr. Mike Omeri, you have talked about the fact that people turned up to take part of these elections. I would like you to talk about, do you think Nigerians have learned more about how to conduct themselves during elections in this particular case compared to what we've had in the past?
Oh, yes. Clearly, in some of the places we went, people are enthusiastic. They came out early, you know, wanting to cast their vote. Something has been learned. Lessons have been learned. I think the voter turnout is unprecedented. I stand to be challenged. It's unprecedented. Everywhere you went, and especially, interestingly, women. Women were almost all over the place, and I wish that they were voting for a female president. And I look forward to that in 2019.